Hello everyone, welcome to this new video where we are going to see how to render an already created RDLC report in a JavaScript application. Before we get into the process, let me give you a small introduction to RDLC reports. An RDLC report is an XML-based file that contains the report layout, parameters, and other report-related information. The main difference between RDLC and RDL reports is that RDLC reports are designed to pass the data report from applications. RDL reports, on the other hand, intend for the data to be retrieved by processing the report through a report viewer. We need to set 4 items to render an RDLC report in the report viewer. Reporting service. This service is used to interact with server-side report processing. Processing mode. This option specifies whether to process the report in local or remote mode. The reports will be processed as RDL if the processing mode is set as remote, and RDLC if set as local. Report path. This option is used to set the path of the report that we are going to render in the JavaScript report viewer. Data sources. This is used to assign the required data to the report. First, I need to create a reporting service. To do that, I create an ASP.NET Core Web API application in Visual Studio 2022. And I install the boldreports.net Core NuGet package in the created application. Then I create a new controller file and name it reportviewercontroller.cs. In the controller file, I add the necessary using statement. In the route attribute, I add the action placeholder. And I remove the API controller attribute. Inherit the iReport controller. I copy the necessary variables and methods from the documentation and paste them inside the report viewer controller class. Then I open the program.cs file and add the add memory cache and add cores methods. After that, I add the useCores method. Create a folder named www.root in the root folder. Inside the www.root folder, I create a folder named resources. And inside that, I add the already created productlist.rdlc report. For this demo, I have an ASP.NET Core reporting service. You can also use an ASP.NET report service. I have provided the documentation links for both, as well as a link to the sample report in the video description for your convenience. For this demo, I am going to use an HTML application. I already have a basic HTML application named embedded RDLC viewer.html. Now, I add the necessary scripts to load the report viewer inside the head tag. Add the div element and assign the width and height to it. Inside the div element, I add another div which acts as a container for bold reports report viewer. Inside the div tag, I add the ID attribute value viewer. The HTML element can be specified using the ID attribute. Next, I add the inline style attribute which specifies the width and height of the div element. Next, I add the script tag inside the body tag and initialize the report viewer control inside the script tag. Now let me add the options one by one to render the RDLC report. First, I add the report service URL. This URL specifies the service URL in which the report viewer service is hosted. Then I set the value for report path. Next, I add the view report click value inside the script which calls the onViewReport click method. Then I copy the onViewReport click method from the documentation. Add it inside the script tag. I save the file. Next, I open the reporting service application. First, I create a class file named productlist.cs in the application root folder. I copy the code from the documentation and paste it inside the product list class. Then I open the report viewer controller.cs file from the controllers folder. In the onInit report options method, first I set the value for processing mode to local. Next, I need to load the report as a stream. To do that, first I create a variable named basePath and assign the folder path value which has the report. Then I combine the base path along with the report path which is sent from the HTML application. Next, I create an instance for the file stream and assign the file path to it. Then I create the memory stream and copy the file stream value to it. Then I assign the report stream value to the report option.reportModel.stream variable. Then I add the data value collection to the data source value. Here, name is case sensitive, and it should be the same as the data source name in the report definition. The value accepts iList, dataset, and data table inputs. I save the file. And now everything is ready to render the RDLC report from the report service. First, I build and run the service. And then I run the HTML application. You will see the report is loaded in the browser. Let me summarize what we've accomplished. We saw how to create an HTML application, how to reference the required scripts to render the RDLC report, and how to set the variables that need to be declared to render the RDLC report. I have provided a documentation link in the description below for the steps that are followed in this video. I have also provided a link to our article, Enabling Image Rendering with Report Viewer on Linux and Other Non-Windows Platforms after .NET 6 for your reference. If you found this video useful, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.